Oh no, guys, it's the last episode. What am I gonna do? What's up, guys? JK Disc Golf here, and today, well, we've come to the part of the building my bag that you guys actually probably care about, and that is the distance drivers. I think this is the most I have. This doesn't seem like a lot, but I think there's a lot more that I tested out that I kind of just are up there somewhere, so they can just stay up there. But yes, we're just probably gonna jump right into this because you guys want to know what I've been working on. So off the bat, we're just gonna talk about some talk about some discs that kind of just got the boot really quick, and we're gonna start off with the Estline Hysteria, or the DD. I picked this thing up because I lost the DDX and it was a little bit higher speed, so I thought maybe I could get this, have a little bit less turn to the right, but it was kind of just a little bit too overstable than I wanted, so it just didn't give me that max distance that I was looking for, so I kicked that one out right away. Next disc I was looking at is the CD3, and this flies similar to another disc in my bag, and I actually liked the other disc a little bit more, so the CD3 got the boot. Next, we got the Estline PD. It was yellow. It got the boot. Then we went to this beautiful Estline PD2. So what? You're thinking, man, he threw that disc out just because it was yellow. Well, of course, that's not the only reason I threw it out, you dummies. I didn't really like the way it threw. I felt like I got to get more distance on it, and it was just a big overlap in my bag. Also, it was yellow. But this one, I really like the color. I have an awesome picture with the sunset, and I freaking love that picture. But the PD2, just too overstable. There was a part of me that wanted to take this over a destroyer, but it was just too dang overstable than I wanted, because I didn't feel like I could get the max distance out of it. So there we go. Then we're going to go into discs that kind of gave me a little bit more thought and took me a little bit more kind of just to see if it was staying in the bag. The first disc we're going to talk about is the Boss. So the Boss is a 13 speed, so I thought it was going to be a little bit too fast until I picked it up and I could actually kind of mash the thing just a little bit. But it has a really wide rim, and that kind of bothers me. Not going to lie. It is a 13 speed, so you can definitely assume that's going to have a wider rim, and it's just kind of to the point where it's just a little bit uncomfortable. Also, I'm not going to be able to flip this thing, at least not right now. I'm sure when I started getting a little bit more beating because it is brand new. So it's only throwing about 360, 365 right now. And I feel like other discs can give me a little bit more distance. Next, we're going to the Shrike. Again, it's starting to warm up, so I actually can throw these discs out basically to my max capacity. This disc I threw today was maybe, I'm kind of have this theory where it was just because it was more of a downhill shot. I threw like 425-ish. I'll give you like 415 just to be on the safe side. And I just kind of threw this thing. I gave it a little Hyzer. I did not want to give it Hyzer, and it it went kind of Hyzer and then flipped up really late turn and kind of just smashed. So I was really surprised by that, and it kind of gave me thinking maybe this could be a more max distance shot. Again, we're still gonna test some discs out, see exactly how they fly, because I've tried the Champion Shrike and I hate it. I just really don't like it. I am more of a Star plastic anyways, so the Star Shrike gave me quite the surprise. Next, we're gonna go back down in speeds. We're gonna go start from the lower speeds up to, now this is where I said on the last video, on the fairway driver video, if you guys caught that one, I said people refer to speed 9s as fairway drivers, but it specifically says on the disc that they are distance drivers. So I waited until this video to make it. That's why there's a lot more distance drivers than there is fairway drivers. So these next 3 discs, a lot of people would consider fairways, but since it is technically a distance driver, I saved them for this video. So going on to a speed 9 disc, I have this Road Runner. You guys have seen, oh my god, if you've seen that video before, I have Asa, is that same one with that nice JK die on it. So the reason I was attracted to this was a good roller disc, and I do enjoy it for that roller. Except now I've been working on little flip up to turnovers, or if I really need a turnover, I can throw it flat, and I know that it's going to the right for me every single time. So that's why I really like the Roadrunner. It's in G-Star plastic, so it beats in a little bit faster, and it's going to get me really understable, so eventually it'll give me really nice rollers. Then the next disc, we're going to go by stability now, because these next ones are all speed 9. And you guys want proof, it says right there that it's a distance driver, not a fairway driver. Just saying. I'm just putting it out there. So now, this is where the disc that I said kind of flies similar to the CD3. It's a Thunderbird. What I use this one disc is for when I kind of want a shot that's, I only want like 300 feet, and I want to just stay true to the line. Maybe it's a little bit windy, because I know this thing is going to flip and turn. This thing is just going to basically ride straight with a reliable fade, and I won't overthrow baskets. So that's kind of what I'm using the Thunderbird for, and it's been really, really reliable lately, and I just know that when I'm reaching this disc, it's going to do exactly what I would like. Hopefully I can get a little bit more beat in too. Maybe I get a star one, but I'm really liking the Champion Plastic so far. My last speed 9 disc is the Champion Firebird. You know, you can basically guarantee that a Firebird's going to be in my bag at all times, because if I need an approach or a short sidearm shot, I'm going right for my Firebird. A little flex sidearm shot, because the thing is super overstable. Even, you know, some spike Hyzers, or something that I really enjoy doing is skip shots. So if I need any of those, I'm definitely reaching for my Firebird. Also, it's a very good utility disc if you need a thumber, if you need, I like to throw grenades with it, or tomahawks, any of that, Firebird works really well. So I have this Champion Firebird. I really want to get my hands on an 8 Sextons Firebird. I had a 2017 one, and I really liked it, and I lost it. So if I can get my hands on a 2018 one, I'll definitely have that in my bag. So now this is where there's a little jump, and it kind of concerns me just a tad. So if you have suggestions from a speed 9 to a speed 11 disc, feel free to drop a suggestion down below. But it's not too concerning, because I feel like there's not a gap right now. So the next disc I have 2 different plastics in. We're going to go with the more beat in one first. And this, if you guys have been following, it is a Estline DDX. This one I've had in my bag for over a year, so it's very beat in. So I can give this thing a good amount of Hyzer. It's going to flip up, give me a little bit of turn, and then kind of fade back at the end. So I use this disc for long turnovers. The Roadrunner, I can't get to hold the turnover for very long. So if I really need something to go hold the turnover for like 350 or 325-ish, I'm going to hold on my DDX. Also, it's kind of good for shaping tight wooded shots, because I know I can flip it, turn it, and do all crazy things. And this has been for a long time one of my longest throwers. I can't really say for sure anymore, but since the last time I went out with all my discs, it was my longest thrower, and I probably should get it back out there pretty soon to see which one's farthest thrower. Okay, next line is my newer Estline DDX. So the thing I find in the beginning with DDXs is that they aren't as flippy, but when you start bending them in a little bit, then they start getting that nice turn with them. So that's kind of what I've experienced with the Estline DDX. Right away, it didn't really give me that enough flip, but now it's to the point where I give it Hyzer, it's flipping, and it's going pretty far. So this is right now, I would say this, or maybe the Strike, is going to be my longest thrower. And I like more star Estline plastics. So just having an Estline plastic gives me a little bit more confidence. Also, I heard the Estline was more stable, which I kind of wanted with the DDX, because I know I was flipping it and turning it over. So, Estline DDX. Next, this disc. It's freaking awesome. It looks really cool. I could probably sell it for like $150 right now on the Facebook Marketplace. But that disc is the freaking Cloudbreaker. This thing, it flies similar to my DDX, except I don't get it to turn, but it gives me similar distance. The only problem I have with the DD3 or the Cloudbreaker is the rim. It is a bigger rim, and again, like I said with the Boss, I don't really like bigger rims, but with the distance it gives me, I can suck it up. So what I like the Cloudbreaker for is when I have more of a headwind. I know this thing isn't going to flip over and just turn and burn for me. It might give me a little bit of turn, but still give me a good amount of distance and fight that wind. So yeah, that's what I'm using the Cloudbreaker for. And I really don't want to throw this one too much because it is a prototype. Where the frick is it? It disappeared. Oh, there it is. It is a prototype. Just freaked out a little bit. It is the prototype DD3, so I can't wait for these things to come live in April so I can pick a couple up. And they will certainly be in my bag just because of this damn and support Eagle. Because you're freaking awesome, dude. And then the last mold in my bag is the Star Destroyer. But every one of these destroyers flies differently. First, we're going to go with this destroyer, which has been in my bag for over a year, but does not fly at all like a destroyer. I can give this thing this much Hyzer, and it's flipping up to flat. It has no overstability to it. It's kind of just a disc that I use for sidearms and specifically sidearm Hyzer flip shots, because I can give it a good amount of Hyzer, and I know it's flipping up, turning, and giving me that max distance. So right now, that's all I'm using this disc for, basically, is just the Hyzer flip sidearm shots, because it gives me so consistent and they go so far. The next disc I'm going with is my newer destroyer. It's got the Raptor, the Ricky Wysocki stamp. This thing gives me a lot more glide than, I'll spoil it, my Paul Macbeth 4-time destroyer. So what I use this thing for is kind of more distance. If I'm trying to get a max distance sidearm shot, that's not a Hyzer flip one, and I can just kind of mash on, I'm going with the Raptor or the Ricky one. And when I need a little bit of a flex, or if I need something kind of, yeah, basically just a flex, and I kind of need a harder fade at the end, I'm going with the 4-time Paul Macbeth. But that's my building my distance driver, guys. I can say that tomorrow, yes, tomorrow, I'm going to talk about my collection, and you'll see some repeats of this. But you guys broke the 20 likes, so I'm going to make that video. Also, we're coming up to my official 2019 in the bag. There's just a few more slots that I need to solidify, and since it's warm, it's going to be coming out soon, guys. So make sure to drop a like if you want to see the official 2019 in the bag, and I will hurry up and make that video. That's all I got today, guys. Again, drop a like if you enjoyed. Hit that bell so you get notifications on all the new videos, and don't forget to subscribe. That's all I got today, guys. Make sure you keep throwing. Man, that was stupid.